Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another Friday Faves and Fails. I'm gonna kick off with a fail and it is this. It's an instant fail. I just used it for the first time and had to mention it because I was so disappointed. It was sent to me along with a few different things from Fenty Beauty and I've been quite generally pleased with Fenty Beauty products that I've tried. But this was just, I think it was most disappointing because I was so excited by it. It's one of the Snap Shadows little eyeshadow palettes. The colour is Wine. It must be number 9, is that right? I'll show you what it looks like, although I'm sure you're familiar, these tiny little palettes. I love a little mini travel size palette. I like that it's got a nice mix of light and dark. It's the kind of thing where I've got a slight highlight for the inner corner. I've got a dark enough colour that I can use for my liner. I thought this was going to be a really nice autumn palette. I just put it on and I've never used eyeshadows that were so difficult to blend. Now, in fairness, I did just use the matte ones, these 3 here, but I mean, I love matte shadows, and it used to be that the drugstore high street brands didn't do very well at matte shadows, and so when I got higher end ones I was really excited. So maybe that's part of it. I was thinking, well, this is of a certain price point. It's kind of middle of the road, mid-range in terms of like what you can buy at Boots, for example. But I did expect it to be, I expected it to perform. I expected it to be not a cheap feeling eyeshadow. I expected me to put it on and for it to blend out really nicely, and it just didn't. It just stayed there and it was awful, and I really had to work with it to do the eye that I've got on today. And honestly, I just looked kind of closer in the mirror and I don't like it. It is not nice, especially on this eye. Kind of looks like I've had an accident. If you guys have tried different shades of this, or you've tried this, if you've tried different ones and you really enjoy them, please let me know. I have just been really disappointed and I wanted to put it out there because it's definitely one of the things that, especially leading up to Christmas, I would have put on a list or I would have gifted to someone because I think it looks really cool. I love the little mini things, and Fenty does really nice Christmas packaging. It's not something that I would recommend. Also, I feel really congested today. I'm coming off of a pretty bad cold, and if I sound really strangely nasally and like, ugh, that's why. So I'm going to talk about the lip that I'm wearing today because I love it, and also I feel like some of you will want to know. I'm trying to find a good long wear lip because we're going to New York at the end of November. There's a mask mandate, so pretty much everywhere you go you've got to wear a mask until you take it off for certain things. And Christmas in New York, I'd like to wear a bold lip. I'd like to be kind of polished and feel made up, but when we had to wear masks absolutely everywhere in the UK, I was wearing very little in terms of makeup, let alone wearing lip colours and bright lip colours. So I'm kind of doing what I'm sure most people did at the beginning of last year when the mask mandate became a thing in the UK, and I was just like, I'm done with makeup. I'm now trying to find things that are staying on my face as long as possible, and in spite of wearing something kind of rubbing up against my face. So I've revisited some old favourites, and the YSL glossy lip stains, do you remember these? This is the Vinyl Cream. You can definitely still get this. And I had this on. I've worn this maybe like 2 or 3 times over the past week. I really enjoy it. I'm also wearing it with the Urban Decay Manic lip liner. I'm going to show you on my hand, these two next to each other, because I think they're quite a nice combination. The lip liner is paler, but I think that they go quite nicely together in terms of tone. Now, this is not transfer proof. This is like touching my lip. This is not transfer proof. However, it is definitely more long wearing than a regular gloss, than a regular liquid lip like this. I still don't know whether or not I could really get away with this underneath. I mean, I bought myself some new silk masks. I don't know if I could get away with this. But in trying to find some more long wearing lipsticks, I am kind of rediscovering some very old favourites. I just used to love a liquid lip, and I just kind of moved away from it completely. And then there were no lipsticks at all last year. And now I'm coming back thinking, I don't know why I ever stopped wearing them. I think part of it is the lip liner of it all. Like, if I wore this before, I would have worn it on its own. And my lips kind of disappear into themselves now. I like a lip liner. I like a more defined lip. I like to slightly overdraw my lips. I really enjoy that as kind of like a moment. I like to make them a little bit pow. 24/7 Glide On lip pencils from Urban Decay are 100% my favourite, absolute favourite lip liners. And speaking of underneath masks, I probably will end up just wearing these. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I'll do like a balm, a little bit of a balm, especially right now my lips are so dry. A little bit of a balm, and then this over the top, wait for it to set. And they just are creamy enough to do that with. You don't feel, I mean, it depends on the texture. There are different ones. The ones that have got kind of like a fine shimmer are a little bit drier, too gritty for me when my lips are dry. But the ones that are creamy, should we do a video about lip liners? Maybe we'll do a video about lip liners. Sorry, the colours. The lip liner was Manic and perfect. And the Vinyl Cream is 407. I don't know what actual name that equates to, but a rediscovery. A nice segue on from that is brows. Brows. I've been doing my brows again. It's been a long time. I had my eyebrows microbladed maybe 3 years ago now, and I've been having them done maybe like once a year since then-ish, maybe a little bit more than that. And they fade very, very quickly for me for multiple reasons. My body has a healing situation. I overheal. I have been known to have hypertrophic scarring. I will always want to say keloid, but it's not quite. I have got a keloid scar on the back of my ear. I've had scars removed from the backs of my ears just from piercings. It's really not great. My C-section scar, it's not cute. And so it was always a kind of a worry with anything on my face that could be a problem. And thankfully, I haven't had any problems whatsoever. I've got no, just realised they could have like wiped off my eyebrows then. I didn't, thanks to the product that I used, but I'm not used to having anything on my brows, you see. Thankfully, there's no problem. Every single tattoo I have on my body is raised. So it was a concern. And I didn't tell the first person who microbladed my eyebrows that I was prone to these things. I didn't even think about it. And so because I'd had it done once, where I went since said, well, it's probably fine because we know that this is how your body reacts to microblading. And so it's kind of been okay since. But if you are prone to those kind of scars, it's probably not a good idea. Because it fades so quickly, because partly my body overheals and I think it kind of just like wants to get everything out of my body as soon as possible. And also the different kinds of skincare that I use, quite active ingredients that can fade, things like retinoids and stuff that I'm trying to get rid of some pigmentation on my face. And that I think is also getting rid of the pigmentation in my eyebrows. Difficult to avoid it because it can migrate. I'm not going to put Vaseline on my eyebrows every night. I'm just not. And so I'm leaning back to actually filling in my eyebrows. It's nice to have them at a state that I feel like I don't have to fill them in. But it's also nice to do a little bit of a bolder brow by choice. I think when I had to do it all the time, it felt like effort and work and I couldn't be bothered. Whereas now I'm having fun with it. And I've started using this Maybelline Tattoo Brow waterproof gel. It's been in my drawer forever. I hope this is still something that's available. This would be so on brand for me if it was discontinued like 3 years ago. But I'm really enjoying it. I can't tell you whether or not it's waterproof. It does feel like it's smudge proof. I mean, I just smudged my eyebrow and it seems fine and there's nothing on my hand. But I can't tell you whether or not it's waterproof. I can tell you that it doesn't leave anything behind. So when I wash off my makeup at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's stained anything because I know there are products from this line that do that. This doesn't seem to be one of them. And I can also tell you that the tattoo eyeliner, although I haven't used it in years and years, is absolutely waterproof. I once went swimming completely forgetting that I had it on. Full liquid eyeliner. Looked amazing. Completely incredible, that stuff. So I believe that this probably is. But I'm really, really enjoying it. And it comes like this. I'm not sure how you are supposed to, I mean, how would you use this? I don't know. But it comes like this in this weird, almost lip applicator. And then I use a little teeny brush like this. And I just kind of get it off the, let me get my face out of the thing so it'll actually focus on what I want you to focus on. I get the brush and I just kind of take it off there and then I put it onto my eyebrows, and that is how I do it. Use it very, very sparingly. This would probably last me for the rest of my life. One more makeup product and then we're moving on. The PS Blurred Out Skin Conditioning Universal Blurring Powder, and this is from Primark. I hauled this last weekend. When I originally talked about this, I did a little Primark shop with me, and I said, was this going to be glittery? Is it going to be one of those like really finely milled powders that look absolutely beautiful on the skin, and then when you get out into daylight it's like glitter ball? And everyone who already had it said it was fantastic. They absolutely loved it. There was no glitter in it whatsoever. There is glitter in it. If you put a torch if you put a torch directly onto it, you can see glitter. but nothing like the other ones that I've had. So if I go into direct sunlight in this, yes, there'll be some sparkle, but there are other ones that I've tried where it's like, it feels almost like the entire powder is made of glitter. And that's not the case here. It does have some amount, because that's kind of the blurring, that's a light reflecting thing in these kind of powders, but it's not a lot. It is very finely milled. It feels nice on the skin. It's not drying out my skin, because loose powders can do that for me. If I use them a little bit too much, they can kind of like, they seem to just suck all of the moisture out of my skin, and just I get very textured and ugh. And I'm not having that at all with it. It's a really, really nice product. Very, very similar to the e.l.f. under eye powder, but you get a lot more product for the money. I've got two housey type products, and then I want to talk about podcasts. Number one is this Fresh Fall Morning, which is from Bath & Body Works. This candle, I was talking about this in a video, I think it was a live not so long ago, and everyone was going crazy that Next were suddenly selling Bath & Body Works candles and asking me whether or not I thought it was really worth it, because they're quite expensive. I think like £25. No. In a nutshell, I would never pay full price for a Bath & Body Works candle. I have had them shipped from the US during the pandemic when everything was the worst. It felt like a nice little thing to do, since we couldn't actually travel to the US, to go in with a friend or go in with a neighbour. I think I did both at one time or another, and shop a Bath & Body Works sale. So it was quite expensive to get the things back over to the UK, but it was kind of like a one-off pandemic purchase, a one-off thing to do, and I split the costs with someone else. If I was in the US, I wouldn't buy a full price Bath & Body Works candle. They're never full price. You can always get some kind of discount. Already they're like $25–30, which is not the same as £25. And there's always some kind of deal, always. And so, yeah, okay, if you want to buy one as a special treat or as a gift for someone, then okay, fine. But I don't think it's worth it. The same as I wouldn't pay full price for a Yankee candle. Now, if you would, great, but I'm just putting it out there. Lots of people were saying they were excited because it was the only place that they knew that they could buy them. Loads and loads of people do the same thing, ship the things over from the US to the UK and sell them on eBay. And you can spend definitely less than £25 per candle. They've got loads of different options, and they do these little smaller ones, which are a lot more cost effective. And the scent throw is really, really good. It's one wick. So although, I mean, let me see what it actually says in terms of burn time. Because although it's a smaller candle, it burns kind of at a similar rate. It usually says, right? Oh, burns approximately 25 to 45 hours for this. That's crazy. So I have found, like when I go to America and buy candles, I found these to be the best ones to buy because they're easier to bring home, number one. I can get lots of different varieties. Again, there's always some kind of deal. So there might be like 2 for $12 or something like that. I've definitely had that deal before. And so I'm putting this out there just because you can buy them elsewhere. You can find places that are selling them. They're not necessarily fakes. It's just that people have brought them over from the US or had them shipped over in bulk, and they've got them on a mega sale. And yeah, you don't have to buy them full price from Next. But that one specifically, Fresh Full Morning, I'm really enjoying it. And I'm going to talk about in a second why I'm specifically enjoying it now, having really not wanted to burn it. And then this coffee, we're really liking. It's the Taylor's Hot Lava Java ground, and it's a 6. Usually we have like a 5, which is the strength level. And this is a 6, which feels extra strong. And seriously, at the moment, I feel like I need all of the caffeine I can get. That I think I purchased from either Morrison's or Tesco. I forget, but either Morrison's or Tesco. You can probably get it in both. I don't know. But I use that in my mocha pot. I fill the little, whatever it's called, the little pot that goes into the water chamber, fill it to the top, and then I split. And this is probably like a 4-person one. You know, it looks about this size. That coffee then is split between 2 different drinks for Lee and I. So I just make like a strong latte with that. Don't know how it works in any other coffee making device, but in my mocha pot, I love it. So there are 2 podcasts that I'm really enjoying at the moment. I'm going to find my phone. My phone is somewhere around here. I need it in my hand for this. So I'm really into the law of attraction. I know I lost half of you there. I'm I'm having a hard time. You know, like the thing of like you're thinking of a number and then you see the number. A lot of it is confirmation bias. I just can't get on board with a woman who says that a man is speaking through her and he is using her as a vessel. Right, I have just spent maybe 20 minutes talking about these podcasts and talking around in circles because all three of them, it turns out there are three. One person did 2 podcasts. All 3 of them are about the law of attraction. And I have a really hard time talking about the law of attraction on the internet because I don't know who is watching and I don't know what your opinion is and I don't know how receptive you are to that. And as I'm talking about it, I feel like someone who's going door to door and teaching you about a God you've yet to discover. I believe that there are positive and negative energies and that they impact our lives. I believe that what we do and say and think has an impact on our lives. That isn't for everyone, and every time I talk about this, I feel myself saying, well, you know, it's this and it's that, and it gives some kind of comfort, and I suppose it's a bit like a faith, and it's nice to feel like you have a sense of control, and almost talking to the point of saying, well, I know it's not real, but that is purely to make other people feel comfortable and to feel less pushy about it. And so I've decided I'm not going to talk about it because I must be the same for people who are religious, talking to people who are not of that religion. Because I'm not a religious person at all. I don't really have any kind of faith. And I wish I did, because it seems like it does provide a great amount of comfort for people. And I do find some comfort in this. I find some comfort in feeling like I have control in a world that feels like there's no control. And that is something that's really appealing to me about the law of attraction. But I've also found things happen that are inexplicable. And I've had successes that don't make sense. And I feel like they're because I believed that they could happen and that I asked for them. And I know, and that's all I'm going to say, because and then I start to get into it and I'm like, no. But all 3 podcasts are about that, and they are The Law of Attraction Changed My Life, which if you're into this kind of thing, or even just a slightly maybe into, this is the most accessible podcast I've ever listened to like this. It feels very normal. It feels like the least amount of woo-woo, but she's just a regular woman talking about books that she's read or things that she's consumed that week. And from a self-development perspective, I can't think of anyone that wouldn't get something from this. So I would recommend that to literally anyone. And then there are 2 more which were recommended by Francesca, who has the Law of Attraction Changed My Life podcast. And they are the Lucky Bitch podcast and the Chill and Prosper, both with Denise Duffield Thomas. And they are a little more involved. They are a little more like, she's a millionaire. She's like done all of the things, and she is kind of like a self-help guru in that arena. But yes, all are about the law of attraction. And if you're into that kind of thing, I would recommend all 3. I got very hot and bothered talking for 20 minutes in circles. I don't know why. I find it so uncomfortable. But I think it's because I think that people will think, I think people will have a negative opinion about that. I do. Every time I talk about it, I do feel like I'm touting some kind of new age religion. And I'm not. But that's how it feels. Maybe at some point I'll do some kind of like live chat, or we'll do a specific chat for people who are interested in that kind of thing, because it's not for everyone. But I've found success in it and I really enjoy it. So I wanted to recommend those podcasts for those of you who maybe were looking to dip a toe or already quite interested. So that is it for this week. Bit of a random ending. I will be back on Sunday. I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be a shop with me yet, or you're going to see that full wedding dress try on. But if that's not Sunday, it'll be Wednesday next week. So until then, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.